They're on your side. Can't say no to that. That's how that's going now. Good shot, good shot. Deep. See how they are? Deep. Shopping for Justin.
All right, so Al Sharpton leads Costco boycott. That's what he's calling it, a boycott, right? I.e. boycott, in support of company's controversial DEI commitment. So Reverend Al Sharpton and about 100 of his followers descended on the East Harlem Costco Saturday in support of the company's commitment to controversial diversity, equity, and inclusion practices. We're supporting those who are not rolling back DEI. This is Patricia Perry, Crisis Director for Sharpton's nonprofit National Action Network, right? It is very important to be here, she says. The demonstration was in response to President Trump's crackdown on DEI initiatives this week, which put federal employees working on such incentives on paid leave and shuttered offices dedicated to it. Trump's executive order called the practice illegal discrimination and aims to restore merit-based opportunity. And I kind of agree with that. Because this DEI under the Biden-Harris administration, it was all a money grab for corporations and educational institutions. So this is Al Sharpton bringing in hundreds of Black people to shop at Costco's.
They're on your Can't say no to that. That's how that's going now. Good shot, good shot. Deep. See how they are? Shopping for Justin.
So here's the thing. This is what I don't understand. Why would you bring hundreds of Black people to shop at Costco's, a major corporations? They're not losing money whether they have DEI initiatives or not. But why would you bring hundreds of Black people into Costco's and not bring those same Black people to Black-owned businesses? He always want to be on this pro-Black this, pro-Black that. How can you be pro-Black and worried about minorities of all color or people of color when you're going to a white-owned corporation? White-owned. Stockholders, C-suites, they're all white. Make no mistake about it. All because Trump eliminated DEI. DEI had a $1 billion annual budget. So yes, they were wasting money. And now they're calling for people to boycott Target. See, a lot of times when Black people want to think of strategies to counter back against white supremacy or discrimination or what have you, the strategies are not good. The strategies actually do more harm when we're talking about the Black community than it does good, because giving your money and patronizing these companies that are not Black owned, right? That are not, there are no Black shareholders, there are no Black people in the C-suite executive positions, but you are sending thousands of Black people and encouraging them to shop at Costco's. The strategy should be boycott major corporations and only buy Black. If you're going to have a boycott at all, if you're supposed to be so opposed of DEI. So what you're saying is we're going to support corporations that keep the DEI initiatives. But even with the DEI initiatives, that did not increase Black representation on executive levels. It did not increase Black representation when we're talking about ownership, CEOs, C-suites. It did not. The same hiring practices prior to DEI continue to be the same. These companies were hiring Black people and people of color prior to 2022. This is, I believe that's when the DEI initiative under the Biden administration came into effect. Because if they were practicing, if these said companies were practicing discriminatory hiring practices, then you would have heard of lawsuits. You would have seen lawsuits. But nobody was not discriminating against Black people. A lot of the discrimination does come from the higher positions when we're talking about C-suite, CEOs, executive, COOs, CFOs, all those positions. So we didn't see any real change. DEI is another term for affirmative action, just throwing more money into something, giving corporations millions and billions of dollars just to teach their employees about diversity. It's just a training course that companies took on to force their employees to do. Nothing more, nothing less, except for the company got millions of dollars from the Biden administration. But now Trump comes into office and he's, yes, cleaning the swamp, stop wasting money. So let's get rid of DEI because we're saving $1 billion if we get rid of DEI. And we're going to make it merit-based. It's not favoring one person over another. It's not about race. It's not about gender. It's not about sex. It's not about none of that. It's not about religion. It is purely about merit. So why are these leftist liberals losing their minds?
I am in business in multiple ways, with Target, with Walmart, and Amazon, right? I sell Donna's Recipe, my hair care products, right, are on Amazon. They're also in Target. And of course, I have a huge partnership with Target. I sell my seasonings at Walmart. I do business all over, just like many other people. And what I can tell you is, if we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations. Listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected, and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process. And then you got to, like, where you going to put it? You got to have a place to store it. That's money, right? You got to have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. And even if you sell online, it's a process when it comes to business. And everyone does not have the funds or the means or the availability, the space to house their own products, right? But the thing that concerns me the most, and I want you to hear me and hear me well, if we all decide to stop supporting said businesses and say, I can't buy nothing from there, even the businesses who were affected by the DEI ban, right? What that does is you take all our sales and they dwindle down. And then those companies get to say, oh, your products are not performing. And they can remove them from the shelves and then put their preferred businesses on the shelves. And then what happens to all the businesses who've worked so hard to get where they are? Then what happens, right? Now, I know that something that could solve it is ownership of these big corporations, right? It's a long way to go there. There are amazing companies like the Village Market in Atlanta, right, who support small businesses, and you can go in there and there's some amazing things that you can buy. But it's one store and it's very small. We're talking about mass market. You can't build that overnight. Do we?
Okay, so on one hand, it sounds like she's talking about how if you boycott places like Target or Walmart, where a lot of Black-owned companies sell their products out of, we're going to lose money. And, for us to even get to that point, that's a lot of hard work and years put into it. So if you're boycotting it, we're losing money. And then she goes on to say, but at the same time, without DEI initiatives, these corporations can say, well, your product is not selling good, so we're going to replace you. And then they could replace you with someone else. But that's with anybody that could happen to. But I think what she's alluding to is when corporations come to you and say your product is not selling, so we're going to have to replace you with somebody else who is, she's assuming that they're going to just target the Black businesses, the Black-owned companies selling their products, and replace them with someone white. That I don't believe. That is not true. And that's the lie that they're trying to spin it to scare Black people or people of color. Because we have to go back and think, when Target, Walmart, and all of these major distribution corporations started putting Black products in their stores, it wasn't because, oh, I just want to be nice to Black people and do them a favor. It is a major market, especially when you're talking about hair care, beauty. They knew that they could double their revenue putting Black products on their shelves. It has nothing to do with the DEI initiative. So getting rid of DEI only means getting rid of the training. If your product was doing well before DEI, during DEI, and afterwards, why would they come in and all of a sudden want to replace you? It is about money at the end of the day when it comes to these corporations. It is about the dollar. That's it. That's all these people care about. The only color they care about is green, honey. And they want to stay in the Black, not the red. And they know bringing on Black companies that are selling products, especially with hair and beauty and stuff like that and clothes, is going to sell. When you look at L'Oreal, they bought Malia. I can't pronounce their hair product, but it's Mielle. I like her products. Black owned, Black women. L'Oreal bought that from her. I mean, look, it was a great business deal on her part. But why did L'Oreal wanted to buy it? Because it's profitable. It's profitable. They do the same with white businesses. So again, don't boycott nothing. Stop believing the lie of the Tabithas and the Al Sharptons. Just stop. How about Black people just start focusing on creating your own business and making good products, making a good service that everyone in the public will want to buy from you. Create jobs, create your own business that's going to create jobs for other people. How about that? Cal's daughter also, yes. So this is not like the 1950s and 60s and 40s, you know, where I remember Martin Luther King, when Martin Luther King said, you know, we are going to boycott Wonder Bread. We're not going to buy any Wonder Bread, and they're going to wonder, we're going to take the wonder out of Wonder Bread, and they're going to wonder where our dollar went. And they did, because Wonder Bread was not hiring Black people. See, literally a lot of discriminatory practices were going on back then. So you boycott. The same with the bus companies, boycotting the bus companies. I'm not going to ride your bus. And half the people riding the bus were Black. That means you lost half your revenue, which means you're going to go out of business. So when you take money out because you're not being treated well or fairly, then you boycott. But don't sit up here and tell me because this administration got rid of DEI, then we're going to go back to Jim Crow times. It doesn't work like that. Basically, he's saying, I'm not going to be giving these major corporations billions of dollars. They should be bringing you on to distribute your product because you have a good product, not because you're Black or Hispanic or Asian or gay. And where was this boycott from the Black community when Target and other organizations and other stores was pushing LGBTQ transgender clothing? There was no pushback. Other people pushed back, but Al Sharpton wasn't telling you to boycott.
They ain't know what your data. They ain't know what your data.